Hello and welcome to On the Scene. I'm your host, Racheal J with BeinTheMix.com, and we have a special guest for you today. We have the CEO and founder of Cinespace Chicago.
Thank you for having me here today.
Thank you for having us. This is Alex Pissios. If you don't know, you better ask somebody, okay? Because he's here and we're going to just, get in the mix a little bit with him today. So how are you doing today?
Great. I'm doing great.
Awesome. So we're going to dig right on in because you have a lot of wonderful things going on. Chicago is popping right now with TV shows. You got Empire, Chicago PD, all those good things, a lot of good things coming. But when the world thinks about TV and movies, they automatically geared to go towards New York and LA. So, but you and your family, y'all brought, Hollywood to Chicago. So thank you for that.
Thank
clap,
you.
Clap, clap, clap. But still a lot of our roles, lead roles are still being, they're still coming out of LA and things like that. So what do you think we need to do to change that? Or do you see that changing more in the future to where us Chicagoans can actually be leads in some of these shows that are filming here?
Yeah, no, great question. So we started an incubator called Stage 18 for that exact same reason. What we saw was when my family opened up Cinespace in Toronto 30 years ago, it was the same thing. They started with strictly LA shows, and it took about 10 years, and slowly Ontario-based shows started producing. So we're trying to do the same thing here in Chicago with Stage 18. We developed this incubator, and it's local talent, writers, producers, directors. There's a finance company, an insurance company. And this past year, we did fund $2.5 million worth of local stuff. So that's really what the goal is. You're right. Right now, 100% of my business is all LA-based. The real success will be when you can almost 50-50. It would be 50% Illinois-based and 50% LA-based.
Yes, that's awesome. So you're constantly in the state of moving forward, which is something that we all love to hear because you're bringing, bread and butter to us, and we don't have to jump on a plane. We can be like, I can go up the street, okay, off Rockwell, get me a movie and go home. So that's awesome. And you have a lot of great things going on. I did want to just talk about, CenterCares is a foundation that that's founded after your late uncle.
Yes. Yes, my uncle Nick Mercopoulos, who started Cinespace, and he was the patriarch of our family, and his legacy was really, he was the kind of person that always gave back. Everything to him was give back and give back to the community. So when he passed here 5 years ago, that was kind of his real marching orders to me was, remember where the community is, remember where you're at, and this is a community that's going to need a lot of help. Right. So help them. So we started CenterCares, and CenterCares really does a lot of different things. Right. We do pay for certain kids to go to college, Wow. We give back to the community, the hospitals, the elderly, and more importantly, we try to create jobs, and we started this internship program, which is the first in the United States. Nobody has what we have here. And we were able to partner with Dick Wolf and NBC Films that high school graduates up to even college graduates can actually get an internship on the shows. And a paid internship. So you work with hair and makeup, set deck, camera, all kinds of different things, lighting. And what happens after this, it's about a 3-month process. You graduate. We call it a graduation. It's like a celebration.
Right.
And if you're still interested in what you're going to do, then there's an opportunity to maybe get into the union, which the unions in the film industry are very, very hard to get into.
Yes.
They're sought out positions. So we've had 2 graduating classes so far, 12 and 12. It was great that 90% of the students actually finished the whole class, the whole process, the time, which is very high.
Yes.
And they're all from the neighborhood here, which is real exciting. And we just recently, the union put 5 of the first class into the union. They actually got their union cards and are in the union. So it's really exciting. It's about, jobs is really where it's at, and opportunity. And with CenterCares, we're using that as kind of the vehicle to give back.
Yes, and you're all about rehabilitation, which I highly respect that because we all make mistakes.
Yes.
And then some of us learn from those mistakes and try to be better, but a lot of times that mark on you, defines you. So, so what services do you have just to kind of rehabilitate or how do you feel about it?
So we reached out to some of the local entities like Saving Our Sons and said with them and said, listen, we need to find a way for you guys to get some type of work.
Right.
So we've been able to work with some of the local minority-owned security companies and actually helping them get jobs on the security companies list, you know.
Awesome.
And there's, you know, that's kind of what we started with, and we're looking to do more. But yeah, you can't be judged by, you know, you make one bad mistake, and I know I've made hundreds of them. So, and I'm here, so you know, everyone deserves all the chances they can get, you know, and so we're working with that too.
That's awesome. You know, and then also, you know, I'm a big believer that, you know, our success is built on the back of our failures. So I know you've been through your changes. You're such an open book about everything you've been through, which is an inspiration, because, you know, a lot of times we only notice people for their success, but we don't know their story, you know, completely. So just give us kind of a backdrop, you know, on just how everything got started and what you had to kind of go through to get to this point.
Yeah, so I'm a Chicago-born kid. You know, I went to Chicago public schools. Went to Northeastern Illinois University. You know, always was here, and I got in the real estate business in about 1999, 2000, and I started developing a lot of stuff by the United Center, actually 2 minutes from where we're at. And I was developing single-family homes, 2 flats, 3 flats, and business was going great. And I had about 50 people working for me, and it was a successful project. And then 2007 hit, and the real estate market tanked. And, you know, that was a real bad time for me. So, I mean, it caused me to go bankrupt. It caused me to get evicted from my house with a wife and then 3 kids. So it was probably the best education I ever had. My uncle took actually my eviction notice one day, and he framed it, and it hangs in my office now. So I always tell people that's my diploma. You know, which really helps, too, when you get a lot of people that come in and always kind of, you know, well, I need some help and things are bad, and I always tell them, how bad is it? You know, well, is it that bad? Is your stuff on the street yet?
Yes.
And, you know, so you get a different respect then from people that understand what you went through. And I got very lucky that I had an uncle that believed in me. And, you know, everyone needs their angel, you know, so he was my angel to give me, he didn't give you anything, but he gave you opportunity. And that's how that's really how I live my life. It's not about handouts, it's about giving an opportunity. And at that point, you either grab an opportunity and you run with it, or you blow it. And, you know, my uncle was the type of guy, if I would have blown it, believe me, I wouldn't be here right now. No. There's no 3 strikes. 1 strike, you're out with him. Well, but it worked out great, obviously.
Yes, I definitely love the way he thinks, because he requires you to be a better version of yourself.
Yes, exactly.
You know, and I'm glad that you're paying it forward in that manner, because that's awesome. And I know you have a lot of great ideas, you know, that you want to do with Cinespace, you know, to bring more opportunity. So I know you're doing some things in the back lot, tell us
actually, you caught a great, we got approved on Friday from City Council.
So that's my approval day.
So the fence is coming. You can do. I like the approval dance. So we're going to be actually fencing the property, which I've been working on for 3 years. You know, took a long hurdle, but we got there. And then we're going to take facades of the buildings, and kind of like the pictures you see here is make Chinatown, New York, London, and the Main Street USA. So the facades are actually going to do 2 things. It's going to help shows like Empire then to use a New York type of look, where they don't have to shoot it in New York, just even the outsides, or Chinatown. And then what'll be nice is once you fence it in, we're thinking about doing some type of tourism aspect where people can come take tours. You know, believe it or not, in North Lawndale. You know, which people, 7, 8 years ago, people thought these people are crazy, but now look what's happening here. It's really it's changing. And Lagunitas, the brewery, who's on our property too. You know, they're our tenant, and that has been another great asset here. You know, for more jobs, and they do a big outreach program too, and you know, so it definitely is exciting, and there's a lot more work to do. But you know.
But it's getting there.
Oh, I love it. Oh no, that's right. Well, else you're gonna get bored. You got to do something.
Yes, I know. I'm very excited. You know, I do a little bit of acting, singing, and everything. So, you know, being in Chicago, I'm from Oklahoma. So being here is my LA. It is my New York. So just, you know, knowing that all this is coming, you know, I just can't wait to see myself. You know?
Well, you know, we got casting agents on the premises here, so you know, there's all kinds of people here.
Look, my next stop. Let's go to the So talking about just there's a certain level of crazy that it requires to dream big and to live out your dreams and desires. So, so just what's some tips or just a few words for those who, who are trying to be filmmakers, trying to, be entrepreneurs out here in this industry?
It's really, our business is a business, you got to love it. It's got to be from the heart.
Right.
It's not one of those things, you can't start off saying, well, I'm going to go become a wealthy person making movies.
Yeah.
You really got to say, you know what, I love the art, I want to produce things, I want to make things, I want to act. So it's got to come from the heart, and you can't give up. You just don't know when it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's one of those things and it's a hard thing to do in our business, because again, we got to pay them bills. So it's like I got to pay my bills, and it's hard to keep going to those auditions, and you're not getting them, getting them. But that's why I started that incubator. I thought it would be something where writers and directors and producers can get together local. That doesn't mean they got a big budget, but they can work and help each other out on each other's back. And DePaul University is a tenant here too. Okay. So DePaul's got a nice footprint here, which is really shown. When DePaul started their footprint here 4 years ago, they were ranked somewhere in 200th film school in the country. Now they're a top 25 school.
Wow.
So kids were graduating from DePaul and getting into jobs too. And a lot of them work with Stage 18. So there's kind of a Stage 18 DePaul kind of brotherhood, sisterhood together that's really generating some fun stuff. So you just can't give up. I mean, follow your dream, because I did. And look, I had my own brothers calling me Steven Spielberg, and they thought I was crazy when I was saying I was doing stuff. Now they work over here.
Right.
So I'm not too Steven Spielberg, I guess, So
like, call me Steven.
Yeah, they call me Steven, exactly. So I remind them once in a while.
Oh, yeah,
but
awesome.
you got to really pursue and don't give up and take an opportunity. And like my uncle gave me an opportunity, he didn't give me nothing. Believe, he gave me that opportunity, and then I ran with it. When he passed, we had 5 sound stages. Now we have 30.
Wow.
So I just kept going with what the opportunity he gave me. And what makes us kind of different than any other film studio outside LA is, we have lighting companies here, camera companies, post-production companies, casting companies, animation company, and that's all here on the 70-acre site. So when I go to LA, they really like that it's kind of a one-stop shop here.
Right.
And that's really important.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I know I'm excited. I'm like, what we gonna shoot? What we gonna do? So I know I'm definitely excited. There's so many opportunities, and you have such a humble spirit. Just sitting here with you, you wouldn't even think that all this was yours. It's like this guy just sitting here talking like, I just drunk some coffee and started, we're talking about Starbucks right now.
No,
enough.
No Starbucks. I like McDonald's coffee.
Give me that McDonald's coffee, okay? Yes.
$1.50 too. That's what I like.
So it's awesome, to see someone, of your stature, be so humble and be so accommodating and give back to the community. That's a huge thing, for me with anybody, because I really, it's not about the money, it's not about the accolades, it's about who you are on the inside, and that's what makes a difference. So what do you want your legacy to be? When people think of you, what do you want them to say?
I want them to say, here's a gentleman that had the opportunity and the power to do good things, and he did. It's kind of like, a lot of people talk the talk, they don't walk the walk.
Yes.
You got guys that are very successful, and they make a donation, and they think they did something, and that's not doing anything. And especially in this neighborhood here, it's really about jobs. I mean, I can't stress it. Any chance I get to talk to politicians or whoever is willing to listen, it's jobs and opportunity, and it has nothing to do at that point. Opportunity, you got to take it off, no matter if you're white, black, Hispanic, Italian, Greek. It's an opportunity. The key is to give those opportunities, and then if you don't take it off, you don't take it off. I mean, then shame on you. You got your opportunity,
Right.
But I want to be remembered as someone that gave people opportunities, and they did it,
Yeah.
And it's happening. It's neat to see how it's evolving now. Even though we've only been open since 2011, you really start seeing, you got guys now making really good money, and bought their house, and Omar, who we were talking about earlier before, he told me something which really hit me. He says, my daughter now, he says, we go get a nice piece of fish and vegetables, and that's the kind of stuff we all take for granted, that we can just go get some fish. and it's something that these kids now, they learn that.
Right.
And so they expect it in their lives.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that it really starts with the youth, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's about, changing the heart of a man.
Yeah.
Because when someone sees you pour your energy and your love and your time, because you could be somewhere on a jet plane just not worrying about it, because you don't have to do the things that you do with CenterCares and, Stage 18, but you're choosing to pay it forward like your uncle did to you.
Yep.
So kudos to you.
Thank you.
I'm so proud,
Thank you very much.
of the work that you're doing and all the lives that are going to be changed, because of it. And hopefully they will, in return, pay it forward. So now this question is so serious. I need to know, especially with being Oklahoman. Where can I get a good Chicago style hot dog? I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying. I just need to.
I'm a big Gene and Jude's guy. I don't know if you heard of Gene and Jude's on River Road.
Ooh,
yeah, that's my favorite. Yeah, that you can. So my dad used to take me there when I was a kid, and it's still a place where it only sells hot dogs.
Really?
And tamales, and you can't get. There's no ketchup in the whole place. If you ask for ketchup, they'll kick you out. It's
Thank
crazy.
You, 'cause I was like, can I have some ketchup?
No,
on
no,
this?
you want no ketchup there. But Gene and Jude's, if there's a place you could try, that's my favorite.
Gene and Jude's.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Mental.
Remember that, Gene and Jude's. Yeah.
It's in there. It's in there. I'm going. And we're on this big, beautiful lot. What is your favorite movie of all time?
Godfather.
Godfather.
Well,
and then you don't want to play come on.
No, I can't play it. I just love the movie. Al Pacino, Robert De Niro.
Yes.
There's some great actors.
Yes.
Yeah, great actors.
Yes, and you have such an amazing story. Are we going to see a Lifetime movie special, or a series special?
I don't know about that. You can star in it.
Right, okay. Little makeup, let me follow you around a little bit.
We'll make it happen.
We can make it happen,
Movie
Captain.
magic.
Well, yeah, it's definitely been a pleasure, speaking with you. Thank you so much for taking the time out to talk to On the Scene. We're all watching you and looking at you. You do inspire us. And thank you for bringing all this to Chicago. This is your native home. You could have moved away, but you stayed here, so we appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Much love. Much
love. Thank you.
Awesome. And we
you.
are On the Scene. This is Racheal J, your host with BeInTheMix.com. Stay tuned.